Morning, guys. It is Sunday the 24th. I'm going to speed up a little bit. I'm so weird about being even. It's one of my little weird things. If I'm off-centered from the background, it bothers me the entire time. So today we're going to be doing the Kriya for awakening the 10 bodies. And this Kriya actually works on all of the 10 bodies. And they say that it starts with the physical body, which is on the outside, and we kind of wear that like a coat. And underneath that is our soul body, our negative mind, positive mind, neutral mind, arc mind, auric body, pranic body, settled body, and radiant body. And today we're kind of talking a little bit before we get started about devotional, having a devotional, being in devotion to something. And it's something I've talked about before. I've kind of touched on it in reference to manifestation and why it's so important. And I'm going to touch on it a little bit again today. And this particular Kriya, I think, is a good match for what we're talking about because we're working on awakening all 10 bodies. But specifically, this Kriya also works on our solar plexus area, that sun energy within our body. And our solar plexus energy is that place where we view ourselves, how we see ourselves. And this is important because when we relate it to divinity, which is what this whole Kriya actually does, is it aligns our solar plexus chakra, that place where we view ourselves, to divine energy. So the divine energy is actually the truest state of our being, the expression of divinity that we have, or that divinity expressing itself as humanity. That is what we're working to align ourselves towards, that truest nature of our being, the divinity expressing itself through us and through our humanity. And so it's not like we're aligning ourselves to this thing outside of ourselves. We're aligning ourselves to our truest nature, our most authentic expression of being, that divine energy that exists within us, that sustains us and gives us life, that gives us the ability to actually be here in this time and place. And as it relates to devotion, I found a quote that I really liked by a gentleman named Bo Taplin, and he said, "There's something unusual about us, something deeply spiritual. The way we fall into one another so naturally, like our love was carved out of the earth. There are star systems bursting at our fingertips. We are in tune, our hearts croon the same old song, the universe planned for us. I know it." And I think about a relationship with another individual. But when you think about this energy that he's talking about and that spiritual connection to another thing, and the spiritual connection that we have, to be spiritual really just means to know on the most intimate level the fundamental aspects of our being, the truth of ourselves. That's all spirituality is. People want to dress it up and all this new age stuff, and oh, it involves crystals, and oh, it involves this, and oh, it involves that. It involves nothing other than the fullest, most pure expression of your own being, which requires self-awareness and knowledge of what that looks like, right? So to be deeply spiritually connected to that divine energy that exists within us, that connects all living things, that is what devotion is. That is the devotional. And I come from a religious background, and I heard that word over and over and over again. Oh, women's devotionals, Bible study devotionals, blah, blah, blah. And it just never resonated for me in the presentation that they gave me as far as that goes. I think the most close I could feel that feeling of devotion was when I was a kid, and we would do these Bible meetings at some of our church friends' houses way out in the country. And there was a lot of sharing of food, breaking of bread together, and singing, a lot of singing. They all played instruments, that family. And so they would lead us in a lot of different music, and that was the feeling of devotion for me. I still get that feeling through doing mantra. Mantra is a huge component for devotion for me. It helps unlock something inside of me, and it allows my focus to only be on that deep connection. And as I feel into that connection, I can feel all of the amazing deep gratitude. And like I talked to you guys last time about devotion, if you were present for that particular class, devotion is one of those things where we don't always, you can't plan it. You can't plan for devotion to happen. You can only create space for it to occur. In devotion, true devotion, there's not even probably words in the human language to describe that feeling. And the closest I can get to it is like a deep, deep, deep sense of gratitude, like an incredibly deep sense of gratitude that really connects us and forges that deep relationship. To me, devotion is connection. It's a deep connection, allowance of that feeling of that connection to be so deeply felt into my own being that it elicits all of the gratitude for the ability to live, to thrive, all of those kinds of things, to be able to engage in this life experience every single day, to feel into the amazing gifts and things that are present for me all the time. To see, to witness the beauty of my life, to allow that to be my focus and not these old programs that we have of focusing on the negative stuff first. It's so easy to look at our partner and find the negative first. It's so easy to look in the mirror and access the negative first. It's so easy for the self-talk to be negative instead of life-affirming and loving and supportive. We've been raised in a society that has taught us to seek the negative first. We have to create new ways of experiencing life. We have to forge new paths. We have to create change in the places where the old stuff isn't working anymore. And this is one of those places because, like I said, that devotion literally opens up miraculous, huge openings for new things to exist in my life, new, amazing, beautiful life experiences to occur, new opportunities. So when I'm not making time, not just to connect to sit and be quiet with myself, but to actually feel into the connection of my own soul space, to feel into the divinity that exists within me. Allow that feeling to expand so big that it literally wants to bring you to tears. You feel that deep connection, and that is the devotion. It is such a beautiful, beautiful place to be in, and it literally is like, it kind of irritates me when people say bliss, or we're seeking a place of bliss, or blah, blah, blah. But if you want to call it that, I think that's as close as we can get to what that feels like, right? Faith is a place of mystery where we can find the courage to believe in what we cannot see and the strength to let go of our fear of uncertainty. That's a Brene Brown quote. And the coolest thing about when we access that place of devotion and true connection to the God, source, divine, whatever you call that, or higher self energy that exists within your own being, it opens up tremendous amounts of space. This is where true trust comes from. I can say I want to trust somebody or trust my life or trust things like, oh, but I'm really scared underneath, right? I've found the more that I connect in that devotional way, the more that I open up for that deep connection to that source energy, that divinity that exists within my own heart, within my own being, that layer of being, that's inside of me. The trust just comes. I don't have to struggle to trust. I don't have to be in fear and trust. So many times I would want to trust. I would try to trust. I would say I was trusting, but really underneath I was still allowing that fear to keep me contracted away from my life. I wasn't fully open to everything that could come and all the possibilities that could present themselves to me because it was unknown and unknown scary, right? So it gives you that ability when you're so connected to source that way, when you have that deep devotional connection, everything just feels right. You trust in the plan. You trust in what's going on, what's happening for you. As things come in, we recognize that the higher self is always in control, that there's always this part of my being that knows what's best for me and what's best for my experience. So I'm not sitting in fear all the time. It gives you a sense of peace in your life experience that cannot be replaced. And I'm not saying that once we start engaging in that space that we never feel fear again or anything like that. We're going to. That's a normal feeling that we're going to encounter in our life. But it peels away some of those deeper layers of fear, of not trusting in our life path and not trusting in our life, the natural flow of life, right? And that's a huge, huge weight lifted off of our shoulders. That's the kind of weight that causes stress, anxiety, depression, because I don't see a way out of it, right? And I just feel like everything around me is out to get me as opposed to uplift and support me. So once I feel into that connection and I intentionally create that deep connection with Source, I'm feeling into that. As often as I can, I'm creating space to tap into that energetic space of opening my heart to that divine connection within my own being and allowing that to truly, being that channel for that energy, allowing it to truly flow through and out of me. So that I'm constantly expressing that vibratory sense of being, that place of trust, that sense of connection, that sense of knowing that everything is okay and everything is absolutely working for my highest and greatest good all the time. I can rest in knowing that my life is divinely orchestrated. So today during our practice, and we're awakening these 10 bodies, right? We're opening up all of the channels of our energetic being. We're allowing for that deepest connection to that divine flow of energy. We're really tapping into opening up that solar plexus chakra, that place of power, that place where we view who and what we are, that truly influences everything that we do in life, that is really allowing us to connect, align that energy to divinity. So we are no longer seeing ourselves through our eyes of negativity, of old social programs, of the dogma, of the old stories that we've told about ourselves and other people have told about us. We're no longer viewing who and what we are from those eyes. We're viewing ourselves from the eyes of divinity, which is unconditional love, acceptance and allowance, giving ourselves peace of knowing this is my time, this is my place, everything is in divine order. Everything is always exactly the way it should be. Nothing that is meant for me will ever miss me. And I'm just constantly accessing and opening myself up to new heights, new, deeper vibrations, like more sustainable vibrations of being that give me that peace of knowing, that give me that comfort within my own being. This is how we create the safe space within our own body to come back, to retreat away when we need to come back to ourselves and to re-strengthen, heal our own body, heal our own emotional wounds. Whatever we need to do to source within ourselves the answers that we need, the healing that we're looking for, the advice that we're looking to have in the next, as in what do I need to do here? Where is my conscious choice? Where is my conscious action? And then we can source all of that stuff with pure faith and trust that that answer is coming from that divine source, that divine part of our being. And so today when we're engaging in our practice and we're awakening these 10 bodies, each of these exercises is going to work to open up a specific body, energetic body, really being conscious about creating that opportunity for connection to divinity by opening up that space, okay? So every time you're engaging in an exercise, instead of thinking about, oh gosh, when is this going to be over? Oh my gosh, I don't know if I can hold this any longer. No, I'm not thinking about those things. I'm not focusing on the negative first. I am looking at my practice with the eyes of, connection, the ability to connect. I'm creating an opportunity for myself to dive deeper into my being, to more fully understand and know this place, and to fully trust in my life experience and feel completely and wholly as much as I can that divine connection, okay? So let's go ahead and get started. We're just going to start with a gentle warm-up just to kind of bring ourselves back into our being after we've tuned in. So let's come into our easy seated posture. And just start to find your breath. And just noticing how just coming into that aligned posture and coming into the breath, how we just feel so much stuff just melt away. So many burdens begin to recede. All of the stuff starts to pull itself away so that we can access those most intimate parts of our being, that source energy that exists within your own body, within your own energetic vibration. Open up to that energetic space. We're going to tune into those higher aspects of our own being with that mantra, Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Chanting that mantra 3 times, engaging, opening up that deep, that highway, that channel for energy to connect to the most divine aspects of our being. As we drop those shoulders back and down, further aligning that spine, giving that energy space to travel from the base of the spine all the way up to the crown of the head. Allowing the heart to lift, to rise up. As those collarbones float upwards towards the chin, we gently tuck the chin back and down so that that chin is in alignment with the heart space. The head is floating just over the heart. Heart's now floating over the sits bones. Feeling into that openness, the invitation to connect. Crown of the head is shining into the sky, aligning to that divinity. Connection to source. And then using that mantra, we're going to connect to that higher source of energy, that most pure vibration of our own being. Inhaling deeply. Exhaling completely. And then inhaling to begin. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Inhale deeply, suspending the breath for a moment. Gently applying the root block. Seal the energy of that mantra into your own being. Exhale, release the lock, release the breath, keeping those eyes closed. We're going to move into that Mangala charm, creating that safe space on our mat. Ad Gure Name, Jugad Gure Name, Sat Gure Name, Siddhi Gurudev Name 3 times. Inhaling deeply. Exhaling completely. And then inhaling to begin. Ad Gure Name, Jugad Gure Name, Sat Gure Name, Siddhi Gurudev Name. Ad Gure Name, Jugad Gure Name, Sat Gure Name, Siddhi Gurudev Name. Ad Gure Name, Jugad Gure Name, Sat Gure Name, Siddhi Gurudev Name. Inhale deeply, suspend the breath, apply root lock gently. If it's within your practice this morning, you're not on a moon cycle, untreated hypertension, you're not pregnant. Exhale, release the lock, release the breath. Gently allowing those eyes to flutter open whenever you're ready. We're going to just start by tuning into our breath, tuning into our body, remembering that the breath is the bridge that we take from the physical being back to the soul space. Just keeping yourself in that comfortable, easy seated position. Closing the eyes. We're going to begin our Ujjayi breath, Oceanic Breath. Close the mouth. Tongue is gently resting in the top of the mouth, just behind the front teeth, creating space in the back of the throat. We're going to begin to inhale deeply in through the nose. Exhaling through the nose, allowing it to be an audible breath like the waves of the ocean coming in. Every exhalation, letting go of all of those energies that are not in alignment with that higher sense of yourself, that authentic vibration of your own being, that channeling of that energy of divinity through your human body, through your human vibrational experience. And on the inhalation, drawing in all of those visions of who and what we are, the truth of our being. Seeing ourselves with those eyes of divinity, the beauty, the gentleness, the kind spirit, the humble nature. Opening up and connecting to all of the beauty in your life experience on that inhalation as you draw in that phonic energy, that life-affirming energy, allowing it to completely fill up every part of your being, all of those places that feel tired this morning, anything that feels compromised, where you're feeling any tension or restrictions, sending that breath of life into those places by utilizing the tool of your own breath. Remembering the immense power that you carry just within the breath. You came into this world, transitioned into this life experience on the breath. You will transition out of this life experience on the breath. Everything is done on the breath. Nice and slow, deep breaths. Remember, there's no rush. Taking that breath all the way down into the belly on the inhalation. Allowing the belly to rise up away from the body as you fill up that belly with that new prana. And then drawing the navel towards the spine on the exhalation, fully expelling all of the stagnant air, all of the old energies that are no longer serving, fully releasing them. Couple more deep breaths here. And then on your next inhalation, allowing those eyes to gently flutter open. We're going to just start to take a little bit of gentle movement in our body before we move into our Kriya, or our practice this morning. So inhaling deeply. Exhale, dropping the chin to the chest. Just begin to take those gentle neck circles in whatever direction feels most comfortable and safe this morning. Remembering, as always, to make this your practice, utilizing whatever modifications you need to take to make this the most comfortable and safe practice for you. Being sure to take care of your own being, remembering that that's your job and nobody else's. So never pressing ourselves into pain, tingling, or numbness, watching ourselves, and dancing with that fine line, knowing where we need to press a little farther and knowing when we need to pull away just a smidge to create that safe practice for ourselves. Next time you find the chin towards the chest, draw that neck rotation in the opposite direction. Pausing and breathing into any of those areas where you're feeling that tension, not forcing it. Because you think you should be able to do it, or you could do it yesterday. Meet yourself on your mat exactly where you are today. Matching the breath with the movement, inhaling from the front to the back, exhaling from the back to the front. One more time. And the next time you find the chin towards the chest, inhale, lift the head, take the gaze back towards the front of the room. We're going to draw that rotation deeper into the heart space, and then we're going to take it down into our soothing grind, really opening up some of those energetic channels. My leg is getting numb today, forgive me. So just come back into that easy seated posture. On your next inhalation, pressing that heart space forward past the biceps. Really press it forward so that that spine is arched. And then we're going to draw the rotation in the same direction we began our neck circles. We're going to rotate through the rib cage, just the rib cage, isolating that movement so that that rib cage, the points of those rib cages, are circling into the earth. The entirety of that rib cage is circling around your sits bones into that anchor that we're utilizing to connect us to the earth energy beneath us. And again, matching our breath with our movement. Inhaling from the front to the back, exhaling from the back to the front. This is that practice where we learn to trust ourselves too. When we decide to take the direction of rotation that feels most comfortable and safe to us, we're trusting our body to move in the way that it needs to move without direction from another person, just listening to the body and following through, supporting it through the actions. Next time you find yourself towards the front of the rotation, draw in the opposite direction. This is one of those movements that can feel really uncomfortable at first when we're used to closing off our own heart space. So this one can take some time before it feels really comfortable and safe. So don't give up on it and don't feel frustrated by it. Just continually give yourself the opportunity to engage in the posture and see how it changes over time. Not forcing or pressing, just allowing and accepting where we are. One more full rotation, and then come back into that easy seated neutral posture. Inhaling deeply, exhale completely, hinging forward from those hips, dropping that heart space towards the earth, but keeping the crown of the head up. We're going to begin that soothing grind. Close the eyes and draw your attention, your awareness back inside of your own being, allowing the movement to be meditative. Creating that vortex of energy that draws your attention back inside of your own being. Next time you're at the front of the rotation, draw it in the opposite direction. Inhale, come upright. The next time you find yourself towards the front of that rotation, drawing yourself back upright into that easy seated posture. And we're going to begin our Kriya for awakening our 10 bodies. And we're starting out with the really fun one. The stretch pose tends to be a tough one for me. And this is definitely one of those postures that you want to modify if you find that it feels stressful or too tense on your neck or very uncomfortable. So make sure you're modifying this posture in a way that most supports your practice today. So we're going to start by bending our knees and placing the soles of our feet into the earth, using your core energy. Remember, we're focusing on that core energy, connecting it and opening it up to that divine energy. So visualizing that energy at your core, opening up, expanding to receive that energy of divinity. And not just to receive it, but to acknowledge the divinity that already exists within your own being, right? Take those hands out in front of you, palms are faced towards one another, and then slowly with grace and ease, vertebra by vertebra, utilizing that core strength, we're going to release our spine all the way down into the earth until those shoulders are resting into the mat. Back of the head is gently relaxed into the earth. And then we're going to lengthen through our legs. So coming into this stretch pose, if you're not familiar with it, we're going to take the hands up, the arms are going to come up, palms of the hands are going to be faced towards each other. Actually, no, we're going to face the palms down towards the thighs, down towards the toes. And then we're going to inhale, and we're going to lift our shoulders up away from the mat and draw the heels up away from the earth about 6 inches. And we're going to utilize the breath of fire in this stretch pose posture. So, if you need to modify to sustain yourself for 1 minute in this posture, then feel free to do so. You can release the heels into the mat if that's too much stress. You can take one foot up and then alternate. Or you can release the head down into the mat, lift the heels away from the earth if that's too much tension or you have a compromised neck. So just listen to your body and whatever you need to do, relaxing into the earth, so that we can come into posture. We're going to be here for 1 minute. And then on the inhalation, rise up into the fullest expression of that posture that was the safest to you today. And then beginning that breath of fire. Focusing your attention, gazing at the toes. Utilizing that breath of fire to really pump that navel point. We're building that energy across that navel point center. We're opening up that space, that place of power, that place where we view our own being, to really fully connect with that divine energy, that truth of who and what we are, that source energy that exists within our own being. You're already more than halfway done. You're about 40 seconds in. You only have a little less than 20 seconds to go now. So stay strong in your posture. Stay committed to achieving the end result of this exercise, remembering all of the beauty that's going to come from engaging in this particular exercise. Inhale deeply. Suspending the breath, apply your root lock if you can. Exhale, release the lock, release the body into the earth, release the breath. Take us a couple seconds to relax here and just feeling into the quality of your own energy. Close your eyes and evaluate how that exercise made you feel. How did it make you feel emotionally? Did you feel frustrated, irritated? Did it bring out those energies that potentially are latent inside of your being that needed that release? Did it make you feel strong? Were you connecting to those higher sense of your being and stepping into your power? Next posture we're going to come into is going to be our nose to our knees. So if this is an uncomfortable posture for you again, then please modify it. Really specifically wanting to be careful with the neck. So if you have any old injuries or any tension or discomfort in that place, then please modify this posture to best suit your practice this morning. We're going to inhale and draw the knees into the chest. Take the hands to the front of the shins and really pull those those knees into the body. On the inhalation, we're going to draw the nose towards the knees. So lifting those shoulders away from the earth, tucking the nose into the knees. And we're also going to be utilizing that breath of fire here. So inhale, take the knees to the chest, take the hands to the front of the shin bones, draw the nose to the knees, and begin your breath of fire. Again, you're only going to be here for 1 minute. But if that is too much on the neck, keep that head relaxed into the earth if you need to, and just visualizing your nose tucked into your knees. You're already halfway through. About 15 seconds here. Inhale deeply, suspending the breath, apply your root lock. Seal the energy of that practice inside of your being. Exhale, release the lock, release the breath, release the soles of the feet gently down into the earth beneath you. Closing your eyes, take a moment again to feel into the quality of your own energy inside your physical being and surrounding you. Welcome to extend through the legs if you need to here in a close pose posture, keeping the soles of the feet planted into the earth. And on your next inhalation, bending those knees, drawing back into the chest, and just utilizing that rocking and rolling motion. Just to press that cerebral spinal fluid up into all of those nooks and crannies of your spine, and then finally drawing yourself upright to a comfortable seated posture. We're going to come back into that easy seated posture so that we can begin our breath of fire. We're going to engage in that ego eradicator. That ego eradicator, that's what we were talking about earlier. We're no longer viewing ourselves through those worldly eyes. We're utilizing the eyes of the truth of our being, the divinity that expresses itself through us. We're using those eyes, the eyes of unconditional love, allowance, and acceptance. So using this ego eradicator breath to burn away all of the things that are not in alignment with the viewing of myself from within that space. Not just viewing myself, but viewing my experience, the things around me, seeking the beauty first, utilizing the eyes of that divine energy, opening up that connection, living my life from within that space, not the worldly things that are spoken to me, programmed into my being, have been fed to me, the narrative about who and what I am, but engaging in the truth of my being. So as you engage in this ego eradicator, I know it can be a really frustrating breath for a lot of people, but that's because we're burning away the old crap that doesn't serve us anymore and is no longer aligned with the truth of our being. And that doesn't always feel great, right? So coming into that easy seated posture, we're going to raise our hands overhead at a 60-degree angle. Bending your fingers, tucking those fingertips into the pads of your hands. Thumbs are plugged directly into the sky. Arms are at a 60-degree angle. Inhale deeply. Exhale completely. And then begin the inhale of that breath of fire. Pumping that navel, forcefully pressing that air in and out through your nose. Close those eyes. Focus your attention at that third eye space, centered just over that brow point, the center of the forehead, that place of intuition, the voice of the soul. Allowing that voice to be what informs every moment of my experience, all of the ways that I perceive my life, all of the ways that I perceive this earth, all of the ways that I perceive this experience as a whole. Allowing that fire to stoke those flames and stoke those fire so that it burns away all of the stuff that's no longer serving. Inhale deeply, taking those thumbs to touch overhead. Arms are nice and long and extended. And when you can no longer hold that air, that prana in any longer, exhale fully and completely, releasing those hands, allowing those hands to shower down around you, grounding your energy all the way down as those fingertips find the earth once again. Gently pressing the aura the entire way down, feeling into that quality of your own energy. As you close those eyes, keep those fingertips grounded into the earth as you take a moment to feel into that energetic quality of your own being. Slowly and gently opening up those eyes whenever you're ready, drawing those hands palm down onto the knees. We're going to open up our legs, not trying to do the splits here, just comfortably opening up those legs. We're going to come into our Lightner Stretch. It's an alternating Lightner Stretch. So we're going to inhale and draw the arms overhead. And then we're going to exhale, drop those hands down towards the left foot and dropping the nose down towards the knee. Now, you can grab onto the toes here. If you can't grab or reach onto your toes, you can drop those hands down onto the shin bone, wherever it is that's comfortable for you, okay? If you need to gently even bend your knee so that you can reach the toes, then you're free to do that as well. Just, modify to the degree that is necessary for you today. And we're going to inhale up, exhale, take it down over the right foot. Inhale up, exhale down. Inhale up, exhale down. So come into that posture, opening up those legs. Again, we're going to be here for a minute. Inhale, arms come overhead. Exhale, drop fingertips down towards the left foot. Inhale up, exhale down on the right side. Inhale up, exhale down. Continuing on at your own pace. 1 minute. Close the eyes, drawing the attention, the awareness up towards that third eye, that brow point center. Feel into that stretch. This is really good for that sciatic nerve. Tight hamstrings. If you do a lot of sitting during the day, this is going to be a really good posture. Kind of loosen up some of those muscle tissues and tendons and things that give you better mobility. You only got about 12 seconds left. Inhaling up, spinning the breath, applying your root lock. It's within your practice. Lifting through the pelvic floor, drawing it upward. Exhale, releasing the lock, releasing the breath, and slowly and gently releasing those hands all the way back down into the earth. Again, grounding your energy. You release those fingertips towards the mat. Take those legs back together. And close your eyes and just take a moment to feel into the quality of your own energy. Taking note of the difference when you started your practice and to how you feel now. What's changed? Gently opening those eyes whenever you're ready. We're going to open up those legs again so that we can come into our center Lightner Stretch. So what we're going to be doing here, we're going to hinge forward from the hips, grabbing onto the big toes. You can take your two big fingers and the peace sign, wrap them around the big toes here if you like. We're going to inhale up, exhale, hinge down, inhaling up, exhale down. So closing those eyes, drawing the attention and awareness back up towards the third eye space. Open up through those legs, grabbing onto the big toe, and beginning that gentle inhalation and exhalation through the nose. Inhaling up, exhaling down. Again, you're going to be here for 1 minute. Cannot reach those toes. Keep the palms of the hands gently resting face down onto the shin bones. Inhale up, exhale down. You can bend your legs so that you can better facilitate reaching those toes. Just listening to your body. Just about 12 more seconds. Keeping it strong. Focusing on opening up those energetic channels to facilitate that deeper connection to your own divine energy that exists within your own being, and channeling that energy through this human body. Inhale up. Sustaining the breath, apply your root lock if it's within your practice. Exhale. Release the breath, release the lock, dropping the palms of the hands down onto the shin bones. Draw the heels of the hands up towards the hip crease. Take those legs together and take the eyes and close them gently. Resting into your body, feeling into the safe space that you're creating within your own being and the quality of the energy that exists within that space. Gently opening up those eyes whenever you're ready. Come into your easy seated posture. We're going to come into some spinal flexions. So grabbing onto the shin bones. Turn so you can see. We're going to inhale, press the heart space forward, past the biceps. Exhale, rounding through the spine. Inhaling forward, exhaling backward. Again, we're going to be here for 1 minute. So coming into that easy seated posture, putting the hands in the middle of the shin bones. Again, inhaling forward, exhaling backward, flexing the spine, moving that cerebrospinal fluid. Closing the eyes, focusing your attention, your awareness on that third eye center. Keeping those 6 bones rooted and grounded into the earth, giving you a strong foundation for this posture. Intentional movement, allowing for this facilitation of that energy to move itself up the spinal column towards the crown chakra. We're more than halfway through here. Inhale, come up into that easy seated posture, applying your root lock, seal the energy of that practice into your being. Exhale, releasing the breath, releasing the lock. Take a moment just to breathe into your body. Relaxing that easy seated posture. And then gently allowing those eyes to open up so that we can transition into our next exercise. We're going to come into that rock pose posture. So come up onto your knees. The tops of the feet are gently resting into the earth, dropping the glutes down towards the heels, allowing those hands to naturally and gently find the tops of the thighs. This rock pose feels too uncomfortable for you, you can go ahead and sit in that easy seated posture, so do whatever it is that feels best for you. We're going to come into some spinal flexions in our rock pose here. So with those hands gently resting on the tops of the thighs, we're going to inhale, press the heart space forward, exhale, round to the spine, inhale forward, exhale back, closing the eyes, focusing on the third eye space. So go ahead and come into posture and begin. Inhaling forward, exhaling back through the nose. Eyes are closed. Focus on that brow point center. You're going to be here for 1 minute. You're nearly halfway through. So really put the fullest amount of your energy into this practice so that you can get the very most back. We get what we give when we engage in our practice. Inhale, come back to center. Suspend the breath, apply your root lock. Exhale, releasing the breath, releasing the lock. Staying in this posture if you can, in this rock pose, but if you cannot stay in the rock pose, you can come into an easy seated posture for a moment. Just breathing into the body and feeling into the quality of your own energy. Gently opening those eyes whenever you're ready. We're going to come into our next posture, which is going to continue to be seated in this rock pose posture. We talked about before, the rock pose posture is so important because it's really good for our digestion. It really does help us to digest anything. They call it rock pose because they say you can even digest a rock in this posture. So when we're feeling those digestive issues flaring up or having discomfort in that area, use your tools, come into your rock pose posture, focus your energy, your attention on that space, healing, repairing, doing all of the things it needs to do to come back into alignment with your truth of your being, which is full health and wellness, right? So this next exercise, we're going to inhale, draw the arms up, dropping the hands over the shoulders. Fingers come down over the front. Thumbs are going to come down over the back. We're going to come into some spinal twists in our rock pose posture. Inhale to the left, exhale to the right. Inhale to the left, exhale to the right. Continuing on, twisting through the spine, detoxifying our organs. We're only going to be here for 1 minute. Keep those elbows high, parallel to the earth. Deepening that twist as you continue on in this exercise, if it feels comfortable and safe on the spine. Move as deep as the body wants you to move. Feel how good it feels to stretch that spine, open it up, allowing for that movement of energy, releasing blockages that may be holding themselves energetically within that space. Come forward, inhale deeply. Suspending the breath, applying your lock. Exhale, releasing the breath, releasing the lock, gently releasing the elbows down to the side of the body. Palms of the hands come face down onto the thighs, closing your eyes. Take a moment to breathe into your body, to relax, to rest. Before we move into our next exercise, again, if you need to come out of rock pose for a moment, take a break and go ahead and do so. Otherwise, just remaining in that rock pose posture. Gently opening the eyes, and we can move into our next exercise. This next exercise, we're going to inhale, draw the arms up again. Palms of the hands straight over the shoulders. Fingers towards the front, thumbs towards the back. This time we're going to inhale, draw the elbows up towards the sky as we take the back of our wrists, touch one another. Exhale, we're dropping them down. Inhaling up, exhaling down. So coming into that posture, finding your that comfortable rock pose posture, beginning that breath, matching the movement. Inhale as you draw the elbows up. Exhale as you release them down to the side. Actually, we're going to drop the shoulders, or the elbows down to the shoulder length, excuse me, not down to the side. Again, you're only going to be here for 1 minute. You're already halfway through. So continuing on, dropping those elbows into alignment with the shoulders, not dropping them down to the side. Drop those elbows down into alignment with the shoulders. Inhale deeply. Suspending the breath. Apply your root lock. Exhale. Release the breath, release the lock. Palms of the hands find the tops of the thighs. Close the eyes. Take a moment to breathe into the body. Gently open the eyes whenever you're ready. We're going to move into our last exercise in the rock pose posture. So then we get to stretch our legs out. I'm sure y'all are excited about that. And this one is, I really like this one actually. It's called the arm pumps, but it looks like we're swinging an axe here. So we're going to inhale and draw the arms overhead, interlacing the fingers in Venus lock. We're going to inhale and stretch the arms up over the head, and then exhale and bring the hands back up. Inhale up, exhale down. It's like we're chopping wood here. So draw those hands overhead on your inhalation, interlock the fingers, and begin. Keep those arms nice and straight and long. Really using your energy to chop that wood. As we're chopping that wood, we're actually chopping away all of the stuff that's not serving us, all of the stuff, the limitations, the obstacles, all of those things that we don't want to experience more of, we're chopping it away. So really use the fullness of your energy to engage in this practice. We're only going to be here for a minute. You're nearly halfway through here. So chop away all of that stuff. Be really intentional about, I cannot talk today, you guys. Really intentional about getting rid of all of that stuff that's no longer serving you. Let it go. Chop it up. Get rid of it. It's no longer yours. Stop carrying it around. Time to let go. Inhale up. Exhale as you take those hands down to the lap. Keeping the spine nice and straight and long as you're engaging in this chopping motion. Inhale, arms overhead. Suspending the breath, apply your root lock. Exhale, release the lock, release the breath. Allow the fingertips to shower down around you. Feel into your vibration, the quality of energy, the density of it. What does it feel like? What is your heart resonance saying right now? What are you projecting? Come up on the hands and knees and tap the tops of the feet into the earth. Kick them down. Get some blood flow going back into those feet and those lower limbs on your legs. Exhale, drop the glutes down into the earth. Swing the legs around in front of you. Come back into your easy seated posture. Close the eyes. Come back to yourself. Collect your energy back inside. Open those eyes gently. Keep those hands resting gently on the knees, and we're going to come into some gentle shoulder shrugs here. So we're going to inhale, draw the left shoulder up towards the left ear. Exhale, draw the right shoulder up towards the right ear. Inhale up on the left side, exhale up on the right. And just continue on. We're going to be here for 1 minute. Close the eyes. Again, collect your energy back inside of your own being. Focus your attention on your third eye. Keep the spine nice and straight. Head's floating over the heart, heart's floating over the sits bones. Clear channel for that energy to move. Move at your own pace. Lifting one shoulder and then the other at the pace that feels most comfortable for your practice this morning. Drop those shoulders down into their neutral space. Inhale deeply. Suspend the breath, apply the root lock. Exhale, release the lock, release the breath, open the eyes. We're going to take it to the opposite side this time. Again, we're going to be there for 1 minute. Inhaling, drawing the right shoulder towards the right ear this time. Exhale as you take the left shoulder towards the left ear. And just go ahead and begin using those alternating shoulder shrugs. We're going to be here for 1 minute. Closing the eyes. Focusing your attention on your own being. Aware of yourself. You guys are doing so great. We're getting towards the end of this particular exercise, this Kriya exercise. We've got about 20 seconds left here. Powerful breath through the nostrils, matching the breath with the movement. Drop those shoulders back down into their neutral space. Inhale deeply, suspend the breath, and apply your root lock. Exhale, release the lock, release the body. Take a moment to come back inside as you close your eyes. Gently opening up those eyes so that we can come into our shoulder shrugs. This time we're going to take both shoulders, inhaling up, draw the shoulders towards the ears. Exhale down to release them back. Inhale up, exhale down. Continuing on for 1 minute, close the eyes, focus your attention at the brow point center. Matching your breath with the movement. Inhaling up, exhaling down. Spine is nice and straight and long. About 25 seconds left here. Release those shoulders down. Inhale deeply, suspending your breath. Apply your root lock. Exhale, release the breath, release the lock. Take a moment to breathe into your own body. Gently opening the eyes. We're going to engage in some neck turns for this next exercise. We're going to inhale, turn our gaze over the left shoulder. Exhaling, gazing over the right. Inhale, gazing at the left wall over the left shoulder. Exhale, gazing at the right wall over the right shoulder. Close the eyes. Take your awareness back into your own being. 1 minute on this side. Matching the breath with the movement. Remember to be gentle on your neck. If you are compromised in any way with your neck, you can always keep the gaze forward, eyes closed, and visualizing yourself engaging in the exercise. You're not going to miss anything. It's going to be just as powerful for you to visualize when we're doing it to sustain our own being and to care for our own needs. Take the gaze forward and back into that neutral, easy seated posture. Inhale deeply, suspending your breath. Apply your root lock. Exhale, release the breath, release the lock. We're going to take it to the opposite side this time, balancing out both sides of the body. So gazing over the right shoulder on the inhalation this time. Exhale, gaze over the left. I'm going to be here for 1 more minute. Move at the pace that feels most comfortable and safe to you today. Let the body guide and you simply follow. Give the body permission to draw you into posture, not to force. Twenty more seconds. Inhale back to center. Suspend the breath, apply the root lock. Exhale. Release the breath, release the lock. Take a moment to feel into your own being. Experience the quality of your own energetic vibration. Gently opening up the eyes whenever you're ready. We've got one more fairly energetic movement left, and it's actually one of my favorites, and some people kind of cringe at this particular exercise, but I really like it. So we're going to come up onto our feet. So we can come into our frog pose. You can't see my head right now, sorry. We're going to hinge forward, dropping those fingertips into the earth. And then we're going to exhale, lift those heels away from the mat and squat down, dropping those glutes towards the heels. The heels are touching it off of the ground now. Inhale up, drop the nose towards the knees as you're hinging forward. Exhale, drop the glutes towards the heels as the heels come away from the earth. Inhale up, exhale down. And you're going to do 26 of these. So go ahead and get started. Keeping those fingertips grounded into the earth, kind of just between the knees there. Keep the head up on the exhalation. As you drop the glutes down towards the heels, inhale, straighten the legs. Keep the fingers in the ground. Head comes down, nose comes towards the knees. Continue on until you've done 26 frog squats. Move as slow or as fast as you need to here. And then whenever you're done, drop the glutes back down towards the heels. Take the knees to touch. Release the knees into the earth. Drop the glutes into the earth. Find your easy seated posture. So once you're done with your 26 frog squats, move as fast or as slow as you need to. Do as many as you can. If you can't do 26, just do as many as you can. And then drop yourself down into your easy seated posture. Whenever you're done, collect your energy, find your breath as you close those eyes. And draw your attention and awareness back inside. Know that there was a guru and he would get up every morning and do 108 frog squats to get his day going. He must have been in some incredible shape. Once you've taken a moment to collect your energy, we're going to release ourselves down into our corpse pose, Shavasana posture. Bend your knees, soles of the feet find the earth, palms of the hands, stretch out, lengthening through the arms, hands facing one another. Releasing your spine, vertebra by vertebra, nice and slow. Use your core strength. Lengthen through the legs. Allow the feet to fall to the side. Take the shoulders down away from the ears. Palms of the hands can rest into the earth. Or we face up into the sky to receive. Relax. Let go. Consciously aware of each part of your body relaxing into the earth. Not contracting or holding any of your body in tension. Fully release. Deeply relaxing on your back. Your Shavasana pose. I'm be here for about 3 minutes. So just let go. the ability to fully trust in the divine plan, the divinely orchestrated flow of life that each and every one of us have the ability to find that safe space within our own being. That is the doorway to the safe space. That is the doorway to the peace. We find it within our own being by coming into alignment, deep connection to the divinity that expresses itself through our humanity. When we learn to trust very deeply within that space and the natural flow of our own life experience, we can engage in the true living with peace, groundedness, connectedness, trust. And then we get curious about all of the potential that exists within that space through that connection, that open path that really opens up every door of opportunity, all miracles, all magic. And we can begin to experience the adventure of life. Everything becomes an adventure. Everything becomes a treasure waiting to reveal itself. Everything becomes the opportunity to evolve, to expand, to open up, to access new heights of being, to feel into the purest, most truthful expression of my own unique vibration that will never exist again, never, in any time or space. That is truth. That is the beauty of life. All there is all there all the time. I just have to be willing to open up, to connect to it, to trust, to create opportunities for that deep connection to occur, facilitating the devotion of my own heart, that deep sense of gratitude, the recognizing of the most beautiful aspects of this life experience and allowing that to overtake my being, infusing me with that quality of chronic energy, that new life energy. Saying yes to the adventures. Fully open that channel today here on your mat. In the safe space you created for your own personal practice, open your heart to fully connect to that divine energy, those higher senses of your own being, source creator energy, God energy, however it is that you choose to relate to those higher vibratory experiences, those feelings of unconditional love, acceptance, and allowance. Slowly and gently drawing your attention back in your body, wiggling the fingers and toes. Taking any gentle movements that you might need. Gentle stretches. Draw the knees into the chest, wrap the hands around the front of the shin bones, rocking and rolling upright into a comfortable seated posture. We're going to finish our practice today with the Laya meditation. We utilize the mantra Ek Onkar Satanam. My brain just totally lost it. Siri Waheguru. Man, focus just went out the door. I love this mantra, and when we utilize that word or that sound, when we hear that sound that sounds like Ek Onkara Satanama Siri Waheguru. On the sound, we're going to lift up through that navel point center, and then on the rest of that mantra, we're going to relax the belly. So we're drawing that navel in on that sound. So gently resting the palms of the hand down onto the legs. You can come into your Gyan Mudra if you like. Point your finger and thumb connect. The rest of the fingers gently resting down towards the earth. Coming into that comfortable, easy seated posture. 3.5 minutes, we're going to come into that mantra. Ek Onkara Satanama Siri Waheguru. Ek Onkara Satanama Siri Waheguru. Ek Onkara Satanama Siri Waheguru. So take those hands into the Gyan Mudra, long through the spine. On the sound, drawing the navel towards the spine. On the rest of the mantra, relaxing the belly. Inhale deeply. Exhale completely. Inhale to begin. Ek Onkara Satanama Siri Waheguru. Ek Onkara Satanama Siri Waheguru. Ek Onkara Siri Oh man, I lost it again. Excuse me. Ek Onkara Satanama Siri Waheguru. Ek Onkara Siri Satanama Siri Waheguru. I'm going to be quiet and let you chant to yourself. Ek Onkara Satanama Siri Waheguru. 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 Got about 2 minutes left. So focusing on drawing that navel in on the sound. Relax the abdomen on the He Guru. With the breath, visualize the sound spiraling up from the base of the spine to the top of the head in 3 1/2 circles. Ek Onkara Satanama Siri Waheguru. Ek Onkara Satanama Siri Waheguru. Ek Onkara Satanama Siri Waheguru. 1 more minute. Keeping those eyes closed. Focused on the third eye space. Mantra means one creator created this creation. Truth is the name, great beyond description, is infinite wisdom. This is also the morning call. 20 more seconds. Inhale deeply. Suspending the breath, apply your root lock. Visualize that energy circling around your spinal column in 3.5 rotations, all the way up to the crown of the head. Exhale. Release the breath, release the lock. Forgive me, I could not get my mouth to work on that mantra for some reason. It happens sometimes. So take a moment to just relax into your body. Keep those eyes closed. Palms of the hands gently resting on the knees. Feeling into the quality of your own energy. Just think to yourself, how does that mantra make me feel? Does it open me up? Do I feel more connected? Or is it through my practice that opens me up and makes me feel more connected? Is it the movement? What are the tools that are both the best for me to help deepen that connection to divine source energy that exists within my own being? What are the things that facilitate the best, most open relationship for me to that divinity? Opening up that devotional pathway, that deep connection, the seeing, the witnessing of the beauty of this life experience. Gently opening those eyes whenever you're ready. We're going to finish our practice up today with 3 long set nums. So take those hands into prayer pose, anchor the thumbs into the heart space. Draw the shoulders back and down, coming along through the spine, finishing up with that Satanam. Truth is my name, truth is my identity. Truest nature. Inhale deeply. Exhale fully and completely. And then inhale to begin. Satnam. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me for this practice this morning. Opening up, awakening all 10 bodies, really facilitating that opportunity for deep connection to clear the energy of all of those energetic bodies, putting us into alignment, opening that solar plexus energy, putting us into alignment with that divinity, and to be able to see ourselves from that place, to witness our humanity and the truth of our being from the truth of our being, and not from what the world tells us about who and what we are, what the world expects of us, simply from the truth of who and what we are. I hope you guys had a great practice this morning. This is my favorite practice, so I love sharing it with you guys. It makes me so happy. I'll look forward to seeing you guys again next time. Bye.